Making that list, checking it twice, finding out what comic books you'll like. New comic book day is coming real soon. How stupid. Hey comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0, and fans, you're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to do my top 10 most anticipated comics, and this is for September 25th, 2019. That's right, fans, it's never too early to start that pull list for next week, and hopefully this series makes you make decisions on what comic books to buy for next week. So at any time, fans, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it to the comic book community, subscribe to that channel, and don't forget to hit that all-important bell so you don't miss that content from me. So, without further ado, guys, let's get started with this week's Hot Seat book. That's right, this is the book where I'm always on the fence about. I might be dropping it, I might be keeping it, depends on maybe this particular issue. Okay, and this week's Hot Seat book goes to Avengers issue 24. Now, when it comes to Avengers, I haven't read a single issue of this in like 2 years, I guess, when it comes down to it. But this caught my eye because this was the challenge of the Ghost Riders. That's right, fans. The Ghost Riders are making this appearance on the Avengers, and this could be a story arc that I might spark my interest when it comes to the Avengers again, okay? It says, if the Avengers thought one Ghost Rider was tough to deal with, wait till they see how many spirits of vengeance have just been unleashed by the King of Hell, Johnny Blaze. Including the craziest, most powerful of them all is, that's right, the Avengers vs. Cosmic Ghost Rider. So right there in itself is what sold the book for me. It was Cosmic Ghost Rider making his appearance in the book. I love the character. I love Donny Cates' take on this character, obviously, because he's the one that created him. Kind of makes him, he's Spring Castle and he's Ghost Rider combined. It's a great story, but will this make Avengers good? I don't know. And how long is this story arc? Who knows? I could just read this for a little bit. Just for the story arc, and then try another story arc, and then could be crap again. Or maybe this just still could be crap. So I don't know. I haven't been into the Avengers in a while. We'll see what happens with this book. Alright, so now let's officially kick off this countdown with number 10. And number 10 is a new number 1 from Marvel Comics this week, and this is Strike Force. This is issue 1. And it says, no compromise, no mercy. This is an all-new ongoing series. And here comes the tale of the underside of the Marvel Universe. A new threat is secretly taking over the planet, and the more people who know about it, the more powerful the threat becomes. Blade dealt with this threat once before. Do we know who it is? I don't. Do you guys? I don't know. And hoped to never have to again. He can't bring the Avengers in on this, not just on their own safety, but for the safety of everyone on Earth. So he must recruit a new team of heroes that is accustomed to the darkness, which is called the Strike Force, which consists of Blade, Angela, Spider-Woman, Wiccan, the Winter Soldier, Monica Rambeau, and Damian Hellstrom. They all join forces, and they fight the fights that no other Marvel team can take. So it's a $3.99 book. It's 32 pages. It's not overly expensive. My thing with this book is, I'm buying it because it's a new number 1. I want to see what the story is about, but I'm not huge on the roster. I do like Blade. I think he's kind of cool. I think Spider-Woman is cool, but I kind of feel like they're fitting her in there because she has no other place to go right now. So Angela, same thing. No other real place for her to go. So we'll see what happens with some of these other characters, this mishmash of a team. If they join well and if the chemistry works, then this could be a good series. I'm not usually into the supernatural-like series, like Justice League Dark and stuff like that. So this is kind of that same thing. So we'll see where it goes. This made number 10. Let's move on to number 9. And number 9 this week, it goes to Transformers Galaxies issue 1. Now, I put this one on here as well because this is a little bit lower maybe in a lot of people's list, or maybe they don't even know that this exists, okay, or that this is coming up. But if you're a Transformers fan, this might be a book for you. This is called Transformers Galaxy 1 Construction Rising Part 1. And this is an all-new series set in the universe, obviously, of Transformers, exploring many characters and ideas in the Transformers galaxy. So what happens is that this deals with the Constructicons and the Devastator and everything else. So if you're a Constructicons fan, if you're a Devastator fan, this could be a story arc for you. And if it deals with certain characters in different story arcs, then you might want to pick this up whenever, you feel that you like that particular character. This book is also 32 pages and $3.99. So this could be cool. So again, I could be on board just for the Constructicon story arc and find the next character not amusing to me and then pick it up later on when there's another cool character. But who doesn't like the Constructicons, right? They're combiners, pretty badass. All right, so moving on to number 8. All right, so number 8 this week. Sorry, I got lost on my list a little bit. And this one was Absolute Carnage, Miles Morales, issue 2. Now, issue 1, if you guys saw my review on that book, wasn't very good, okay? Because it basically is a scene-by-scene play done in Absolute Carnage, issue 2. But Absolute Carnage number 2 tells that story much better than in the Miles Morales tie-in. And I felt like, well, this tie-in is not necessary. Well, I guess it's to kind of give you an idea of what happened for whatever reason. If you didn't read the Venom, the Absolute Carnage storyline, why wouldn't you if you're reading that one? Makes no sense. But anyway, I guess this is the point now where Miles Morales has been taken over by Carnage, and you get to see the point of view from Miles Morales as he's been taking over. So I think that might make for a more interesting story. It was just that issue 1 was a whole setup to lead into this. So it says, consumed by Carnage, Miles sacrificed himself protecting others and was taken by Carnage's dark doppelgangers. Now Cletus is sending Miles after one of Peter Parker's friends, and if Miles can't stop himself, he better hope someone shows up who can beat a dark symbiote powdered Spider-Man. So again, 32 pages, $3.99. So this one could make for an improvement. Let's hope, because if there's another part after this one, I don't know if I'm going to continue to read it. All right, so moving on the list to number 7. And this one goes to Dial H for Hero, issue 7. Very fitting spot. Now, this book has been moved up from a 6-issue series to a 12-issue series. A lot of people have enjoying Dial H, especially if you haven't read the Dial H in the past. This is kind of like a new jumping on point for you, and this is what this series was for me. Okay, so I've quite enjoyed Miguel's adventure going through the Dial H phone and everybody turning into heroes. I think it's been a lot of fun, and I'm very curious to see, now that we're in the middle of this story, how this story is actually going to end by issue 12. I would love to see this story actually go on as ongoing. So what happened in Metropolis became a city of 1,000 heroes. Get the inside story through the eyes of ordinary people transformed by the powerful H-Dial into heroes you have never seen before. So again, that continues that story after everyone has changed in Metropolis. It was cool to see all the different people change into all these heroes. So that was a lot of fun. So if you like this type of story, this one might be for you. This was number 7 on my list. Let's move on to number 6. And number 6 goes to Batman Superman issue 2. The first issue of this actually really surprised me. I loved what Shazam became at the end of that issue. I thought it was really cool, and he became like one of the Batman Who Laughs little cronies. So I thought that was awesome, and the art was really well done in this book, and it was a really good jumping on point for people that maybe didn't read Metal or wasn't too much into it but wanted to check out this story. So I thought it was really well done. The Batman Who Laughs plot is bigger than either the Caped Crusader or the Man of Steel realized. Following a showdown with the Devious Killer's first Sentinel, a jacked-up dark multiverse-infected Shazam, the pair has to figure out who else has been targeted for similar transformations. Their first two guesses, someone very close to Batman. And the one hero that would make a failure nearly impossible, Superman himself. So it sounds very intriguing, and I think I might be on board for this series going forward. So this book is 32 pages, $3.99. Check it out, guys. All right, next, number 5 is a book that continues to climb for me, and seems to be this emotional book. And this is Superior Spider-Man issue 11. Christos Gage has been doing a very nice job on this book, developing Otto's personality, where he was just this one-dimensional villain in the past, and now that he's this Spider-Man character, he's trying to prove himself and trying to go out there on the limb for the community. And he's got a girlfriend now and everything else. Really cool stuff. So, Otto Octavius, the Superior Spider-Man, saved San Francisco several times, defeated Terrax the Monster, and has built quite a life for himself. Sadly, the spider-powered Norman Osborn from Spider-Geddon has arrived to destroy it all. Does Otto stand a chance on stopping him? Does he stand a chance at living through all this? Well, of course he is. Dude's not going to die. Even if he dies, he's got other clones of himself, stored away. Dr. Otto Octavius is never dying. I mean, he's a clone himself now, and he's young, he's vibrant, he's got a different life. They're not going to kill him off just like that, right? Unless the book's sales tank. So this book is 32 pages as well, $3.99. All right, I'm moving on to number 4 now. It's Powers of 10. This is issue 5. Book is really well done. Again, every time I talk about this book, I don't go into too much detail about it because there's a lot that goes on in this book. But we're coming to the close here. And we're going to get to those main books, and that's the story that I want to see. There's been lots of action. There's been a lot of death. Which timeline are we going to follow the X-Men in when all this is said and done? The last issue with Mr. Sinister, with Powers of 10 issue 4, I thought was hilarious. It was a very light scenes and a very dark story. So great stuff. And as Cerebro does as it was intended to, Sinister does what Sinister does best, and the future comes to the end. So we'll see what happens there. We'll get the conclusion with Mr. Sinister's story. 36 pages, $4.99, guys. Cool book. All right. Next, moving on to number 3. And this goes to Ghost Spider. This is issue 2. I've been really enjoying this book. I love the last run. The first issue of the new run was really well done. Again, it's the same creative team. The annual that just came out, you kind of ask, why do you have an annual when you only released 1 issue? But it was really well done because it really dived deep into Gwen Stacy, this version of her. And if you're not familiar with her and you just decided to pick this up, you know a lot about her now, her personality, what she represents, and how she's got to, stand for herself, and she's still got to be her own person. So really great character development when it comes to this story. The artwork is gorgeous as well. Kind of stays true a little bit to that original version. But if you don't like so much trippy, it's like a good balance, a good balance of stuff. So new friends, new villains, same Gwen Stacy. School is in session as Gwen's fall semester begins. What villain from the past stalks Gwen's travels? We'll see which villain is out there. So 32 pages, again, $3.99. So the cool thing about this particular week is there's not overly expensive books, which in the past couple weeks there seems to be some pricey books out there. All right, so coming in at number 2. Number 2 goes to The Amazing Spider-Man issue 30. Now, I feel like balls are going to hit the wall when it comes to this particular issue of Spider-Man, because this is the one that's an absolute carnage tie-in, okay? Pretty much enough said there. You know that's going to be heavy in this one, okay? So, again, this book here is $3.99, 32 pages. I don't want to give any way description, but all I can say is obviously Carnage is going to be in this book. So no spoilers here whatsoever. All right, so my number 1 most anticipated comic of the week goes to Harleen issue 1. This is done by DC Comics. This is their Black Label title based off of Harley Quinn. Okay, obviously they have toned down their Black Label, but I still want to see how Harley is in this universe. We saw her a glimpse in that whole Batman series that was released when the DC Black Label first came out. You guys see a little bit of her. So I kind of want to see how this character has gotten so scarred in her life. And so if this book does that, I'm really going to like it a lot. This could be a lot of fun. Okay, and I have high expectations for it. This is one of the DC books from the Black Label that I'm looking forward to the most. This book is 64 pages, so this is a hefty one, and this is $7.99. So this leads to believe me that since it's 64 pages, this is probably a one-shot, you know, telling this particular story here. So it's a pricey book, but if you're looking forward to it, you know, again, you gotta shell out that cash. You know, if you guys know out there if this is more than just one issue, let me know in those comments below. I'm very curious to find out because this could be a lot of fun. So, guys, there you have it. There are my top 10 most anticipated comics of the week. Hopefully you fans enjoyed it. Now I want to know in the comments below what's your top 10 most anticipated comics, or your top 5, your top 3, or maybe just your number 1 comic. So guys, until that next comic book review, don't forget, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell. So, until that next comic book review, Spider Slayer signing off. This has been Comic Book Corner 2.0.